Guys, January has been a roller coaster of a month for both crypto and metals, and I would like to see how the trades have unfolded for this month. I'm shooting this video on the 9th of February, and for whoever is actively trading the crypto market, you would know that ever since the end of January and up to the current date, there has been a big drop and even more volatility in the crypto and metal market. Obviously, crypto was way harder hit by this drop. We went down to 60k, and now we're trading around 70k. But even though we started moving from the mid-January timeline from 98k up to where we're trading today, I eventually got 1.3k, a bit more than that, out of the market in January. And so I would like to see what exactly happened in January, what my trades were, and how I acted on the market, even though I think that I could have done better. I think that I did some mistakes that we will check at the end together and see what I can do, and maybe what you can do better as well. Maybe this resonates with you. And so I will start by saying that I will restrain myself from showing too many other coins charts, because I don't think it really matters. I think that if it matters, I will add it. I did add it for a few instances for January where I have personally learned something from the charts. If they are looking pretty similar, and if the decision making was pretty similar to Bitcoin, and it maybe the coins themselves were taken, the trades on them were taken based on what I did on Bitcoin, then maybe it doesn't really make sense to have the chart outlined. So the first trades in January, they actually started after the New Year's Eve, when the market opened for the indexes and other markets as well on the 5th of January. I have taken a bunch of shorts, and basically we're trading around 92, 94k on the top of that former range. You can now see that I'm using my weekend price action ranges and overnight ranges in these videos as well. So basically what happened is that I tried to sell the move up, and I thought that we wouldn't take this overnight high on the first Monday of the week, of the year actually. I started with the idea that maybe this would be the current high for the week starting January. Obviously the trade went higher, but it didn't touch my stop loss. Then I sold one more time on Tuesday, so that was the 6th, with stop loss over the current high made on Monday. And then I tried to compound my position. Unfortunately, my sell 3 actually got hit, so this stop loss got hit. And then what happened is that I went on to sell on Wednesday, on the 7th of January, once more at around the same level with around the same stop loss, but it was an overnight high here on Wednesday, and so this wasn't hit, fortunately. Obviously I took some loss here when I hit my stop loss 3, but then we started moving sharply lower, so I just sold once more on Thursday. I closed the trades, probably should have closed them a bit lower for way more profit, but basically what I did is I closed when I saw that we are actually not taking the weekend price action low here. I actually really wanted this weekend price action low to be taken, but it went off. I mean, it went short of like maybe, I don't know, $50 or something like that, and I thought that we would take it. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. This was a small profit, but I have lost this trade. The S3 one was a pretty hefty loss. I think it was minus $200, $250. I can't remember correctly, something around that. So this is a break-even trade. Nothing much to say here, to be honest. It was a good trade. I should have closed it lower. I expected to take the weekend price action low this week. It didn't happen, and that kind of went downstream really fast. Then I had the biggest wins of the week. So what I did here is I actually entered a trade based on the fact that this is the 12th, right? So this is actually the next Monday. So we had the first Monday on the 5th of January, and then we had the next Monday on the 12th of January. We had the weekend price action low around 90 something K. We had the overnight range pretty big compared to the weekend price action. And then I have entered my buy one after we took the weekend price action low. I thought we will actually move sharply higher because I also saw on the order flow that there are too many shorts moving down from the weekend price action low. So I just acted upon it. I got a buy one around 90.6 and I actually wanted to move up, which I actually got. So this was a big winner. This was a really big winner. And it could have been way bigger. It could have been like, let me remember, I think it was around 2.5 2.7k win on a funded account, so that was going to be quite a lot of money. It went down to like 1.5k and I will show exactly why. So the B1 was around 90.6, the stop loss was around 88.3. The stop loss isn't really big, but this is fine. After I averaged into the position, I compounded with the same position at 91.4 the same day, because I thought that we would actually go higher on that day. The stop loss was around the same because this was a good stop for me. Then I had another buy 3 once we started moving a bit lower, because I actually saw that this week is looking pretty good and I thought we actually have the power to move higher from here. So I have 3 buys quite close to each other. Now what I did here is that for buy 3 I put the stop loss at 90k, but since there was already a 0.3 Bitcoin position at the first Monday of the week, I just said, okay, this might be a bit too much to take overnight 0.3 in one certain day, and I think that thinking of this position with so much bias can be detrimental to me. Okay, so I said that I will close B3 at a small loss. I will de-risk rather than waiting for profits and a big move on the next day. And so I basically said that I will take a risk. Of course, I will just be confident in my idea. I will keep staying in this trade, but I will de-risk and I will close B3, and this is what I did. The next day we actually started moving sharply higher, as you can see. I had a buy for around 92.2k after we moved out of the overnight range high. The stop loss was also 90k, so this is fine. Then when we started moving higher, I actually bought a buy 5 with a stop loss around 90.8, which is around the overnight low of the same day, of Tuesday. And then we started moving higher. I didn't take any profits here, and I waited for the next day because I actually thought we would go to 96, 97, 98k, which we actually started doing on Wednesday. So I got a B6 here when we moved again out of the overnight high of Wednesday. I put my stop loss under the overnight low of Wednesday at 94k, and actually this week here was quite a good stop loss. I mean, it's pretty good to put your stop loss here because this is basically the only decent place to put your stop at, in my opinion, in this moment. So when we got to 97 150, I took all my position off. So I said, okay, we actually hit 97. It was a good price action move for the whole week. I had a continuation move, and I just closed all my Bitcoin position here. So I had 5 positions because I closed one. I closed B3, so I had 0.5 Bitcoin. I closed them all at 97 150, which was a great trade. It was the best trade of the week, and it actually yielded me the $1,335. Now, moving on to the Ethereum long, this was taken on the same idea as I took the Bitcoin long as well. So I had a buy one at the same moment that I had a buy one for Bitcoin, same for buy two, same for actually buy three was a bit later into the week. So buy one and buy two with stop loss around 3,000. I thought that we wouldn't breach 3,000 at that time. Then after we moved sharply higher, when you see this week, you know that you're probably going to get some more upside action, or at least just break out of this current range. So I bought 3 when we actually pulled down a bit here. I thought we would make a small range, which we did. Stop loss was around this. I mean, I think that it's a good stop loss because we actually got some volume exchanges here. People starting shorting, buying, and so on. And once we broke out of this consolidation, I thought that it would be a good stop loss under these weeks here. Then I had the buy 4 with stop loss pretty much under the low that I bought 3 at. Buy 5 was here because I actually expected the Ethereum chart to start moving a bit higher. Stop loss actually doing the same thing around 3.27. Obviously I lost my my buy 4 here, since after I tried to buy into moving higher as we did on Bitcoin, I lost this position because we just moved lower. I started buying thinking that we would move higher once more, and buy 6 was the same idea. This is why I'm saying that I think that I could have done better for this month, because if I would have closed the Ethereum position the same moment that I closed my Bitcoin position, I would have been in way bigger profits, maybe even double the profits that I was at the end of these 2 trades. And so I think this was a bit of a bad decision making from my end, because it was just to think of the fact that I was biased to the fact that we will probably start moving higher here, just as we did on Bitcoin. And I thought that actually Bitcoin would hit 98, 99 and 100k, and I thought that Ethereum would have the force to do the same. So I closed all position here. I actually got, it was probably break even at this point. Fortunately, it was a good winner on Ethereum as well, but I'm not going to say that I fumbled it. It was a good execution. It just didn't happen for me at this point in time, and it is what it is. Sometimes you win, sometimes you just learn that you can't really have too much of a bias onto the market. The day of 20 of January, it wasn't much of a big deal here, to be honest. So we started moving lower from the 97, 98k high here. I took a BTC and Ethereum long, and I thought we would actually start moving higher once more. And I thought that this weekend price action here is just going to probably keep us higher, right? So if you remember, there was a time where I was shorting here at the start of the month, and we had kind of equal lows here, comparing the weekend price action low and the week that was created around 89.2k, and I thought that we would actually just create the market structure so that we go higher. So I bought here, the stop loss was around 88k, and it was hit, and I lost the trade. Now moving on to I think this was the biggest loss that I had during the month, minus 2.64%. So what I did here is I thought of the same thing. We will probably not go lower, and unfortunately it wasn't the case. Okay, so I bought one at around 89k, the same kind of 89, 90k level that I cared most about, that I thought it wouldn't get broken. It actually went kind of low here, and my stop loss one was around 83.4, so it didn't matter. This was a really good pivot here, and I thought, okay, I can take this risk on, and it's fine for the while because it was only one position. Then I started buying because I thought we would move higher. So buy 2 and buy 3 had the stop loss around 87.1. The week that was created here, and took all the liquidity around 89 to 87, 86k. And I thought that we would actually go higher, because if we take the liquidity and we create, let's say, a small parallel channel around there, with the top of the range around 87k and the current low around 89k, I thought that we would actually go higher. But we actually started moving lower from this buy 3 zone. So I actually bought the top here with my compound. Unfortunately, we just started moving lower and we didn't get the continuation up. Unfortunately, this was a pretty big loss. I closed all the positions here, so I didn't wait for my stop loss one. So I think it was kind of the same idea on Ethereum, but I didn't compound too much on Ethereum. Minus 2.64%. It is what it is. Sometimes you just have to take your losses. I think it was 1.25k or something, 1.3k loss. It is pretty hefty, but it is what it is. It's a 50k account. I can handle the loss a bit. Then I have something that I think it was my mistake, partly because I started trading Zcash. I thought that I have an edge on it. I don't know why I thought this. Sometimes you get overconfident with your idea and you extrapolate it to other assets, and it's not a optimal thing to do. I think you should stick to your guns and do the best that you can on the assets that you know that you have your edge, right? And that you know that it will yield actual profits. And so I started selling. Okay, I noticed that from this high here, we started moving lower, so it was a grab of liquidity on a Friday evening. So this was also very important. It's important that I don't really compound my trades on Friday evening anymore. So I started selling with a stop loss around that week at 91k. So after we moved up from the weekend price action on the following week, I started selling the overnight high here on Monday. Once we broke out of the overnight high, I started selling. I sold 2 here as well because I actually started having a bias of going lower, but I didn't really do much anymore unless I had already 0.2 Bitcoin here, and I was like, okay, if we move down from the weekend price action low, I will start compounding my trade. If not, I will just not do anything. My 2 stop losses were around 91k. They weren't hit, but it was pretty close, to be honest. And then we actually started moving lower on a Thursday, and I said, okay, I will look to compound my position and get, let's just say, I will try to skew my position when I know that I am winning. I know that I have the edge here. I know that once I'm in a profit, I will push my trade to the highest limit that I can, and that this is my edge. And so I just sold under the weekend price action low here, and with stop loss with the on the week that was created under the 91k week. Then I started selling 4 and 5 and 6 at the same time around 95.3k and 94k once I saw that we were moving lower. And I closed all my short positions when we went into the weekend price action around 3 a.m. or something like that, which was pretty good. So after we started moving lower in the weekend price action, because I was staying up a bit during the night, around 2 to 3 a.m., I moved all my stops to 85.6k. So at this point I was in profit, but if I would have hit my stop loss here, I would have been in not that much of a profit. So I closed all my shorts. I said, okay, we're moving into the Friday price action and the weekend price action low. Weekend price action. And I said that, okay, I don't want to take all this inventory into Friday and into the weekend, and I will close everything because there is no reason to keep this highly profitable trade. Let's just say that I was not in the position mentally to keep my trades up when I knew that I had quite a bit of a profit this month and on this trade, and knowing that I kind of failed to close my winning positions earlier this month. Okay, this is really important to keep in mind. It's very important to know where you're sitting with all your positions in the mental wise, right? Because trades differ based on how your mental state functions. Maybe sometimes you are just so clean on your mental state that you can just keep your positions up for more than you would have expected to, just because of the fact that you didn't have all the mental inventory that you have already used earlier into the month. Let's keep it like that. Let's keep it simple like that. Because once I use my mental capacity and mental capital to, let's say, lose some trades or not close my Ethereum position when I was in big profits, now I'm in the spot where I will say, okay, I have a good to very good profit. I will just close it and go on to the next trade, and that will de-risk going into the weekend, right? This is a good thing to do. Just take your profits from time to time. Sometimes push your positions more. Sometimes take your profits. Just listen to yourselves. I mean, just listen to your own mind from time to time, and don't let yourself get into tilt, because this is where I wanted to get to. If I would have reversed these positions on my own, I think that if I would have reversed this position here, and I would have maybe even lost on this pretty good profit trade, I would have went into tilt and I would have lost way more after, and I would have probably even lost the account. This is why you have to have your own parameters of how you shouldn't be letting yourself get into tilt. Getting into tilt is extremely bad, but it is important, it is very important to know for yourself what are your parameters of not getting into tilt. That is what I'm working with, and I think that closing this position was very good here for my own mental sanity. Then I wanted to show you the fact that I took this short on Bitcoin. I also took this short on Zcash. I took this short on Zcash, 353, 390 stop loss, and it hit my stop loss. And here I want to show you that even though Bitcoin goes sharply lower, Zcash goes higher for particularly no reason, right? It should probably, I mean, I would have expected it that if I have my Bitcoin going way lower, like way lower here, 10K lower, that's pretty big. I am expecting Zcash to go lower as well, right? So this is bad on my part. I'm not used to trading Zcash. I wanted to see if my thesis is good, and I have actually lost like $400 here. It would have been a way bigger win here with Bitcoin and Zcash if I wouldn't have had this Zcash loss for no reason. So this should tell me right off the bat that I'm doing a bad thing of trading these altcoins because I don't have my edge here. Okay, it doesn't matter what I expect. It doesn't matter if I expected Zcash to move lower at the same time as Bitcoin. I just have to understand that trading Zcash or any other altcoin is not my edge, and I should just forget about it. Okay, and this is one thing that I have to take with myself going into the next month and going into my trading career. It's just that sometimes when things just don't happen for you, you just have to let it go. You just have to trade your edge, and you just have to be patient with your edge. Then kind of the same thing on the 29th happened as it happened here on the 20th, where I just started longing. I actually thought that we wouldn't make so many lows, and I didn't think that we would go so much lower on January this fast into the year. So when I saw the pivot at 83.5k that was that was broken here, I thought, okay, I will buy at 83.5k and I will put my stop loss around the current low, around 80.5k. And obviously I took a stop loss, which isn't a bad thing, it happens. But man, I mean, what a drop, right? And during the weekend, my cat actually wants to play as well, so he's having a good time. Usually when it's a morning, either morning or evening, very early or very late, he's very, very active. He has way more energy than I do, but I love him. I love him for that. It gives me energy as well a lot of times. And so yeah, I took a stop loss here, 83.5 to 80.8k, and that's fine. But this sharp move on a Saturday morning was extremely interesting. It should have given me the cue that we will go much lower, but it didn't. So I will take this with me and understand that this is a possibility. I actually thought that we would move higher from here, and you will see it. You will see it next, because I thought that we would move higher, and I did another mistake. I took a Saturday morning long, and I shouldn't have done that. Of course, I thought that we will move lower from the 80k zone and we wouldn't clean the stop loss, and we wouldn't clean the pivot at 74.5 that happened on the April month of 2025 with the Trump tariff announcement. And so it happened in January. I really didn't expect this to happen, but I took my stop loss. Okay, I understand that I have wagered into the market on a A-type idea where I would take this trade way higher, just because of the fact that I didn't think that we would take this pivot. We did. I took my stop loss, and that's it. Fun fact, on overnight low on Monday, I actually didn't take the stop loss for like $50 or $100. And I was like, okay, maybe there is an edge here. But it so happened that he took it after. It is what it is, right? These are the last trades of January. Zcash, the same idea. I actually took a long on 2090.6, expecting to actually move higher, same as Bitcoin. We did move higher, and I actually averaged in for more, so I compounded my position with stop loss around 264. I took 2 stop losses here, so same thing, minus 400 or something like that, same as the last position for Zcash. And honestly, I think this was it for me for trading altcoins other than Solana, and even Solana not so often, because it's hard to extrapolate on this. They have erratic movement, it's pretty random, and unless it's a very big pivot, it's really not worth your time. I think that trading altcoins when they are at big important pivots makes sense. You can do that, but if you try to do it paired with Bitcoin, it will probably be good sometimes, it will probably be bad sometimes, and I think the mental capital that you are going to actually use to trade these altcoins for a pretty much zero-sum output is not worth it. Just keep your mental capital for your bigger edge and your bigger profit moves like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so on, and forget about altcoins. This is my opinion. Obviously, if you have good setups and your edge is on altcoins, that's good. I think it's possible to make good profits on altcoins. It's just not for me, and that's it. And so I would like to go into the January review, thoughts and learnings. And the first one that I thought about is that the profits of this month could have been way bigger if I would have closed the Ethereum time same as BTC. And I already explained this, right? So it was on the 15th. I did think we would go higher, and my bias was too much, and I think I should have closed earlier, because I should have probably understood that 98k for Bitcoin could have been a current high and a big pivot, and I failed to do that, and I could have done way better there. Another thing that I did is I tried to open more longs, trying to target 98k plus. So too much aggression and bias and not understanding the possibility of a new downtrend, or at least waiting for more data. So what I did, most of my losses for this month was just longing and trying to go over 98k, as you can see here. So I tried to go from 89, moving higher. I averaged in, I compounded my winner on a Friday evening, which is also bad. Then I had longs at 83.5, trying to go higher and thinking we wouldn't take these massive lows, 79.5 going higher, thinking we wouldn't take this massive tariff low. And I actually put this trade also on a weekend, so Friday evening, and weekends are a no. This is not a good idea, and it's probably going to not be favorable to your trading. And so thinking about this, I should probably be less aggressive with the compounds on Friday evening and trying to be more conservative on weekend trades. So some losses came out of not respecting my rules. Trading weekend price action is exactly what I said. I traded on a Saturday morning, on a Saturday. I should be treating it specially. Okay, this is a special special treatment time zone when it's a weekend price action range. I should probably not do it on a Saturday, but at least wait for Sunday evening and see if we can maybe fill a CME gap. Maybe we can I don't know, start targeting some other levels after we have some data, some info of the weekend and how it wants to unfold. So that was a bad trade. Saturday is probably a no most of the times. and trading an altcoin that I have never traded before, Zcash. And you have seen Bitcoin went up, Zcash went down. Bitcoin went down, Zcash went up. You never know with these altcoins. I think that preserving mental capital is probably a way better way to move forward. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This was my review for January. Thank you for watching. I know it's taking quite a bit of time to go through all these trades, but it has to be done. I think this is of utmost importance, and I think that if you don't do this, you will probably never see what you're doing good. In my opinion, it's important to give yourselves votes of confidence, but you also don't know what you missed in the former month. And I think that it's important to know where you're placing yourself at mentally and what were the mistakes that can be progressed on and resolved in the next months coming in 2026. Thank you for watching, and have a great February. Thank you. Bye.